Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're doing a Let's Play and early impressions for D-Day VR Museum, a game that was released on the Steam store November 1st, 2024. It released in early access. It normally retails for $20, and I received a free Steam key through the Steam Creator Connect program to review this game, and I'm testing it out on the Meta Quest 3 using link cable. Let's go check out options. Now, one thing I don't like is the UI. So the UI is pretty weird. You stand on the plate, and then you click on the A button, the face button on your motion controller. That's not the most immersive way to do it. It just feels a little bit clunky. Now, as far as options, I lowered the music, and I turned off snap turning, so you have smooth turning instead. And I turned off anti-aliasing, hoping to get better performance. So, yeah, I don't like those options. There should be more graphical options available. And like I said, it's in early access, so some stuff is still under construction. Utah Beach and Sword Beach. And there's this how-to. So let's go ahead and click on the how-to. Again, this is early impressions. Today is November 11th, 2024, so it's Veterans Day here in the USA. I believe internationally, this is Armistice Day, the day that World War I ended with the signing of the, I guess, surrender, or it was the end of World War I, basically, with the official signing that the war was over between the parties. Germany and France and the UK and the USA. And let's go ahead and click on this.
The Enigma machine, an iconic encryption device, was developed by German engineer Arthur Skerbius. It was used by the German military to secure their communication. The Enigma machine appeared as a typewriter-like device but contained a complex system of rotors, wires, and connections. Its operation was based on a substitution cipher, transforming each letter of the plaintext message into a different letter of the encrypted text. The settings of the rotors, which determined the encryption pattern, were changed daily. This made deciphering the messages an immense challenge, as interceptors needed knowledge of the rotor settings to decrypt the encoded information. Despite its apparent invincibility, a team of code breakers at Bletchley Park, led by Alan Turing, successfully cracked the Enigma code. They developed the Turing bomb, an electronic computer that helped decrypt intercepted messages. This breakthrough provided invaluable intelligence to the Allies and significantly influenced the outcome of the war.
So this is AI voices. But again, I don't like this UI. I think this UI is very immersion breaking. Now, this is obviously called a museum because it's a World War I museum, I believe. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know. Right, it's World War I, right? Or is it World War II? Because there's tanks and everything. I'm thinking this is World War II. I mean, not that there weren't tanks in World War I, but just there's like too many. No. Well, this is I believe. Let's click on this. I think this is World War II, though.
Located at the junction of New Bond Street and Grafton Street, London. This bench sculpture shows Sir Winston Churchill and Franklin D. Roosevelt chatting. It is by Lawrence Holofcener.
Yeah, this is definitely World War II.
1995, marking 50 years since the end of World War II. Restored 2020.
Yeah. I mean, World War I, they still had like horses and stuff. It was mostly trench warfare. But November 11th, 2024 is Armistice Day in regards to World War I. As you guys know, World War I is famous for trench warfare, whereas World War II is really about tanks and blitzkrieg and all that. And I guess we can read more about it here.
U.S. Army M4 Sherman tanks, somewhere in Europe, circa 1944 to 1945.
And you see the the Allied nations here: France, Great Britain, the UK, USA, and Canada. I think there was Australia. There were other countries involved as well. Australia. I don't want to read all this. and Charles de Gaulle, Hideki Tojo. We don't read a lot about him. We mostly read about Mussolini and Adolf Hitler. But again, I don't want to go through all of this. Operation Fortitude. There we go. Stalin, Roosevelt, and Winston Churchill here.
This picture was taken on November 28, 1943, the first day of the Tehran Conference, and shows the three leaders of the three major Allied powers: Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union, Franklin D. Roosevelt of the United States, and Winston Churchill of Great Britain, sitting together and talking. The conference was held to coordinate the Allies' war strategy against Germany and Japan and to discuss post-war plans. At the conference, the leaders discussed several important issues, including the opening of a second front in Europe, the military situation in the Pacific, and the post-war division of Europe. One of the major outcomes of the conference was the decision to launch an invasion of France in 1944, which became known as D-Day. The Tehran Conference was an important moment in the history of World War II and marked the first time that the leaders of the three major Allied powers had met in person.
So performance so far is pretty good. I'm getting a steady 90 frames per second, which was a concern of mine. Actually, I played this a little while ago, and performance was a lot worse, but there was an update to the game, and plus, remember, I also lowered the took off anti-aliasing to try to get most out of performance. Obviously, there was a lot of propaganda, war bonds, etc. From all sides, obviously. During war, there's propaganda on all sides. Let's click here. I don't know what this is going to say.
This barrage balloon were used during the D-Day invasion to protect Allied troops and equipment from enemy aircraft. These balloons were large, helium-filled balloons that were tethered to the ground with strong steel cables. When deployed in large numbers, they created a barrage, or barrier in the sky that made it difficult for enemy planes to fly low and attack ground targets. The balloons were particularly effective against dive bombers and strafing attacks, as the cables could damage the planes and force them to fly higher, where they were less accurate. Additionally, the balloons served as a psychological deterrent, as the sight of them hovering in the sky could make enemy pilots hesitant to attack. During the D-Day invasion, barrage balloons were used extensively to protect the beaches and landing zones where Allied troops were disembarking. The balloons were deployed in two main zones: a forward zone, which was closer to the coast and designed to stop low-flying aircraft, and a rear zone, which was further inland and designed to protect against high-level bombing raids.
That's something I didn't know about World War II. I had no idea this was the intent of these balloons. That's very interesting. Okay. I'm a little surprised.
Ladies and
The
gentlemen,
M1911 pistol was the standard sidearm used by American forces throughout World War II, having been adopted by the U.S. military in 1911. This semi-automatic .45 caliber handgun saw extensive combat use across various theaters of the war, proving to be a reliable. During World War II, the U.S. military identified the need for a more practical combat knife that could serve as both a fighting and utility tool. This led to the development of the 1219 C2 combat knife, which was adopted.
I ask you to join with me in prayer. Almighty God.
So here we see the chain of command for the Allies. Obviously, you see Dwight D. Eisenhower as the general and future president. But you see how the British were very involved. And obviously you see the Axis, which again you see mostly Germans in command. Um, I don't know that uh, I don't know that there were any other countries that were in this kind of command positions. Obviously, you had Italy involved in, I believe it was mostly the African combat. And Spain was involved, but more of a civil war, I believe, during this time. So I don't think the Spanish forces are really involved, other than the Franco trying to assert control over the whole country. I don't know that Spanish forces were all that involved, but obviously they were part of the Axis. And obviously Japan, but they were involved mostly in their area of the Pacific. So, yeah. So really, it was mostly Italy. At least that's my understanding. I'm definitely not an expert, and it's been many years since I've studied history. So, but this is part of the museum. But there's more to this. So, this is pretty nice. But like I said, my negative would be the UI. I think the UI is pretty ugly. And, there's the visuals are fine. Not the best visuals I've ever seen in VR, but fine. But I just don't really like the way that you're interacting with these interactive items. Like just standing on the podium basically and clicking on a face button to get them to but at this point I don't want to. Well, here's some video. We haven't seen video, so this is
Operation Fortitude
there
was
we
a
go.
deception plan conducted by the Allies during World War II in order to deceive the Germans.
Now this
about
is
the
not the
timing and
highest quality
location of
video,
the
but that's
D-Day
understandable.
invasion. The plan was developed and executed
It's
by
original
a team
footage,
of British
so
intelligence officers and involved the creation of fake armies.
my main
plans,
problem is
and
that
false
it appears to be
radio
stretched video.
The goal of Operation Fortitude was to convince the Germans that the
But then
Allies
again,
planned to invade
the
France
original
at a
video might have been in
location
this
other than
format
Normandy
as well.
and on a
So,
different date.
but it looks
To
stretched.
accomplish this, the Allies used a combination of visual and auditory deception tactics. The Allies created a phantom army, known as the 1st United States Army Group, FUSAG, which was led by General George Patton. The FUSAG was made up of inflatable tanks, trucks, and other equipment, as well as fake radio messages, all designed to convince the Germans that a large army was being assembled in southeast England, ready to invade the Pas-de-Calais region of France. The Allies also conducted a campaign of deception using double agents, who fed false information to the Germans about the timing and location of the invasion. The most famous of these double agents was Juan Garcia, also known as Agent Garbo, who convinced the Germans that the invasion would take place at a location other than Normandy. Operation Fortitude was successful in deceiving the Germans about the location and timing of the D-Day invasion.
Let's click on this because I really want to check this out. I think this might be the most interesting part. So here we go to a specific location, which is Omaha Beach, and let's check it out. Now you notice some loading screens in between. Okay, so here we are. This is a different part of the museum, and so you saw at the main menu where there were different parts. Well, this is one of the parts that was shown there in the main menu. So even though we went to the starter area, tutorial area, we were able to get into another area of the museum. So you see this is a totally different place in the museum. Let's check this out. Let's see what it says.
The LCVP, Landing Craft Vehicle Personnel, commonly known as the Higgins Boat, was a crucial element of the Allied invasion of Normandy. The LCVP was designed by Andrew Higgins, an American industrialist, and measured approximately 15 meters in length and 3 meters in width. It had a flat-bottom design, allowing it to land directly on beaches. It could transport up to 36 fully equipped infantrymen or a medium-sized vehicle, such as a jeep or a small tank, the ramp at the front, facilitated rapid deployment of troops and equipment. It was made of metal, while the rest of the boat was constructed from wood. The LCVP, with its unique design, adaptability, and capacity to withstand challenging conditions, played a pivotal role in the success of the D-Day invasion.
That's an interesting vehicle or boat. That the fact that it's metal but also made out of wood, I don't know how that works. You think it would not be able to float, but apparently, I guess there's better engineers than me can figure that out. Let's look at some of this stuff here, though. Again, this is Omaha Beach. Again, if it looks a little bit blurry on the lettering, again, I did turn off anti-aliasing, which should help it with that. But here it looks pretty clear to me. It's only at a distance that I can tell that anti-aliasing is an issue. Let's go ahead and click on this. Let's see what this shows us. Hello? There we go. So I do like that this museum is interactive in parts.
WN60, the easternmost German strongpoint, provided a commanding perspective of the entire Omaha beach.
And this is
From
a
this
360
German forces were able
photo.
to observe the massive Allied invasion forces as they stormed.
No, there's part. Well, I think it's a photo, and then there's like 3D models that are able to move within the 360. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a 360 stereoscopic photo, but then the developer put 3D models that can move within that photo because nothing else is moving. Like the water isn't moving, the brush, the bushes, the trees, they're not moving with the wind. So this is like a still 360 stereoscopic photo, but with some elements that can move within that 3D space to make it seem like they're moving, or like this is like a video, but it's not. It's just a 360 stereoscopic photo with some 3D models that can move within the space of the 360 photo. That's a pretty interesting way. I don't think I've seen that too much in VR. I think I've seen it in a few other things, but it's pretty uncommon. But yeah, I guess that's it for this. It's pretty cool. Let's go back. That's pretty cool. I wish there was more of that stuff. That would really make this VR museum really stand out versus a lot of clicking on just speech that's being read by AI.
WN60 was an important fortified point.
But you see those, even those little even those little animations help a lot. Yeah, these animations really help it a
tank
lot.
Turret, multiple machine gun positions, and numerous shelters.
Yeah, I like this.
Construction was underway for a bunker to house the 75mm gun. Additionally, an artillery observation post was
it's not just information being thrown at you, but some interactive elements that really bring this museum to life.
Further inland. It had both machine gun and mortar Tobruk's. Unlike the round machine gun Tobruk's, the mortar ones had angled walls and featured predefined targets with distances noted. WN60 was taken by L Company from the eastern side, as it lacked a direct view of the beach.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like that, actually. That's really... I don't know what happens here. Did we click on it right? I hope we're not going to somewhere... Did I already click on it? Was that the one we were just at? Or is this a different interactive element? So again, there are loading screens, and right now it looks like it wants to crash. So this is installed on an SSD drive, though. Look at this, though. This is pretty cool. Okay, this is very, very cool. I like this. So now, and I don't know what. Oh, this is the good. By the way, something very interesting about this experience. It's running on the Godot engine. The Godot engine. So we don't have too many VR experiences on the Godot engine, but I think we're going to see that a lot more in the near future, where a lot of new games, new experiences are made with Godot just because of the problems with the Unity engine. And, how much that'll happen, I don't know, but it's very interesting. We don't have too many. And look at this. So, we get to see the photos here. Um, you do clip through them though. Let's click on this. Let's see what happens here. What is this? So you go from you go to one place and then you go to another place. Okay.
Specifically Phoenix's on the western end. To your right, you can see the town of Aramanches Les Bains.
So again, this is the same as the other one, which is a 360 stereoscopic photo. But this one doesn't have any like interactive elements though, or any animations added to it. So it does look pretty plain, but still pretty good. We get to see the place that they're talking about, so I still think it's pretty cool. Okay, you know, like I said,
is one of the
another one
at the beach of Aramanches Les Bains during low tide. To the left of the pontoon is the cliff where we were standing earlier. In the background, you can see more remains of Mulberry Harbor B.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Pretty cool. I like this. I wish there were more of these locations shown. But I'll take whatever we can get. Is there another location? No. Okay, we're back to the... Yeah, that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that was pretty cool. I liked it. Oh, there's more over here. Let's read what it says here. I mean, let's listen to what it says here. Okay, there's no audio here. I don't know if that was a error. Before we click on those photos, I want to check this out.
On the historic day of June 6, 1944, the 50th Northumbrian Infantry Division, also known as the Tyne Tees Division, landed on Gold Beach.
So I am having dropped frames right now. I'm getting about
Naval
60 frames per second.
Gold Beach began at 5:30 a.m., followed by amphibious landings at 7:25. Strong winds made landing conditions challenging, leading to the release of DD tanks closer to the shore. Cruisers Ajax and Argonaut disabled 3 out of 4 guns at the Long-sur-Mer battery, with direct hits at 6:20.
So, here I can really tell the anti-aliasing that I turned off earlier. It really needs it. I don't know. Am I able? No, I don't think I can change options. So here I really notice the effects of not having anti-aliasing. So, again, I was trying to get good performance, and right now I'm getting about 60 frames per second as well. So, obviously, having anti-aliasing on would lower that even more. So, it's a catch-22 either way, right? Obviously, its direction is camera movement is head based. So whenever I move, whenever I turn my head, I move in that direction.
The loading ramps were used to allow vehicles and personnel to be unloaded from a ship's deck.
Okay. I see something over there, but I don't know if we can... Yeah, we can get there, though. I want to see what's over here. What does it say? Oh, we can go up as well. Oh, okay. Oh, we can get on the... Yeah, in fact, I want to do both. So let's go up. Okay, this is interesting. What happened? Wait. What happened? What is this? Okay, this is a bug. Is this supposed to... Yeah, okay, there's some kind of bug there. I don't think that's supposed to happen. You just go up and down the ladder. There's no way to get over the ladder. Okay. Let's check this out. Okay, it's pretty cool. Okay, so let's see what it says over here. Something about Juno Beach. Okay. Let's check out Juno Beach. So we're going to check out Juno Beach and see what's over there. I think this is another section of the museum. So I do like how the museum has different parts within each other. So you don't have to go back to the main menu in order to see those other parts. So that's pretty good. Let's see what we find here. Juno Beach. The game is, again, this is installed on an SSD drive. And let's check this out. Let's see the animations
morning
here.
Of June 6, 1944 saw extremely rough sea conditions on Juno Beach. The planned 7:35 a.m. assault was delayed due to the strong swell and lack of visibility, which made it difficult for Allied sailors to maneuver. Many landing craft struck mine beach defenses that were submerged by the waves. The main Canadian units involved in the Juno Beach assault were the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division and the 2nd Canadian Armoured Brigade in a supporting role. The Royal Winnipeg Rifles and the Canadian Scottish Regiment, both under the command of the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division, landed on the section of the beach codenamed Mike.
Man, I like these
The
animations
North
that
Shore
they add.
Regiment, Queen's Own Rifles of Canada and Regina Rifle Regiment, also part of the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division, landed on the Nan section of the beach. The German defenders, consisting of the 716th Infantry Division, had occupied the houses along the shore, forcing the Canadians to destroy these with the support of a few DD tanks. The 716th Infantry Division included many soldiers who were either under 18 or over 35 years old. Most of them were veterans from the Soviet front, with disabling injuries. The German defenses included 11 heavy batteries of 155 mm cannons and 9 light batteries of 75 mm cannons, which inflicted significant casualties on the Canadian troops during the initial landings. The losses within the first hour were about half of the landing troops, comparable to the disastrous situation on Omaha Beach. Despite these obstacles, after an hour the Canadians were able to overcome the sea wall and attack the German fortifications from behind. Overall, the Juno Beach landings faced difficult conditions, but the Canadian forces were able to secure a foothold and push inland, contributing significantly to the Allied victory on D-Day.
All right, pretty cool, very informative. So, like I said, I'm not going to click on everything, but if I see a photo, I'm definitely going to click on it. Let's check out this video here as well. Again, I'm not a fan of the UI.
With the village of Carpiquet in Allied hands and the drive on Caen underway, Canadian infantry run into fierce resistance in the Carpiquet airfield sector. In spite of a fierce artillery barrage from Army units, naval guns, and rocket-firing typhoons, the Germans hold on tenaciously for days. Entrenched in foxholes, Canadians closely engage the enemy and finally drive him from the important airfield.
The bazooka was a man-portable recordless rocket launcher anti-tank
On the walls
weapon,
of what remains of the officers' mess still stand the Luftwaffe slogan by Goering and Hitler's message to his pilots.
The original M1 bazooka had a 2.36-inch
Solidly
caliber,
entrenched behind concrete
up to
emplacements many feet
3.5
thick,
inches of
the
armor
death or
at
glory
100
boys
yards.
Hitler's picked SS
Later
troops
variants
are
included
killed
the
and
M9
captured
with a
only after a
2.36
titanic
inch
struggle.
caliber, and the larger M20 Super
With the
bazooka
airfield firmly in
with a
our grasp,
3.5
Canadian
inch
troops join the main assault on
featuring
the
a
ancient
solid
city of
propellant
Caen.
rocket for propulsion.
Caen is an
The
important
bazooka
military
allowed for
objective
high-explosive
because of the
anti-tank,
strategic position it
shape-charged
occupies.
warheads to be delivered
Its
against
possession
armored vehicles,
consolidates territory
machine gun
already
nests,
held
and
frees
fortified
the
bunkers
hands
at
of the
longer
British
ranges
Second
than
Army
standard
for more
grenades or
open
mines.
operations.
The simple and innovative bazooka design was later
Canadian
reverse
troops
engineered
play
by
the
the
leading
Germans
part
as the
in one of the most
Panzerschreck
massive
and by the
assaults that
Japanese
Rommel
as
has
the
had to
Type
face in this war.
70mm AT rocket
Entering
launcher.
from the north, the onslaught carves its way right through Caen to the junction of the Odon and Orne rivers, due south of the town. Ruined buildings stand as evidence to the effectiveness of the naval support bombardment. The 16-inch guns of the battleship Rodney demolish entire enemy strongpoints.
The Lee Enfield was the standard issue service rifle for British Empire and Commonwealth forces from 1895 to 1957. It went through several model iterations, with the short magazine Lee-Enfield Mk3 being the most widely used. Known for its accuracy, reliability, and rapid fire capability up to 550 yards, the Lee-Enfield saw extensive combat use in conflicts like the World Wars and various colonial wars. While eventually replaced by more modern designs, the Lee-Enfield remains an iconic and influential firearm in military history. The rifle was manufactured by several companies, including the Royal Small Arms Factory, Birmingham Small Arms Company, and others.
There's some really cool stuff here. So we see some sunken battleships, and yeah, let's check this out right here. I want to check out Juno Beach.
This is Juno Beach in 2024. The middle house on the shore is known as the Canada House. It was the first house to be liberated on D-Day by sea by Canadian forces and is located in Bernier-sur-Mer. This is Juno Beach at Sector Mike, located near Courseulles-sur-Mer. The battle-damaged bunker is of type R612 and is oriented toward the west. On the other side is an art installation depicting the storming of Juno Beach by Canadian soldiers.
I really like those 360 photos.
This is the Nan-Red sector, situated in Saint-Aubin-sur-Mer at the eastern tip of Juno Beach. On D-Day, the North Shore New Brunswick Regiment landed in this area with the objective of capturing the village. By the end of the day, 34 soldiers had lost their lives and 90 were wounded. The Bayou War Cemetery. It is the largest Commonwealth cemetery in France for Second World War soldiers. Founded in 1944, it holds the remains of 4,648 individuals, mainly from the Normandy invasion. Among those buried here are 3,935 British soldiers, as well as servicemen from Canada, Germany, and Poland. Directly across from the cemetery is the Bayou Memorial, which pays tribute to over 1,800 Commonwealth soldiers who died in Normandy but have no known graves.
Now, part of the experience does have you in the air, but I don't know exactly how to get there. Now, we're not going to get on the Gold Beach because I believe we've already been there, if I'm not mistaken. But what we are going to do is get on this HMS Belfast, because I definitely want to check it out. This might be the... Well, let's see what it is. I'm not 100% sure. There are some loading screens, and sometimes I'm getting 90 frames per second, but it is stepping down sometimes to like 60 frames per second, and right now it does feel like it might crash, so I guess we'll see what happens here. A very long loading scene. I don't know if it's just taking a long time for loading or if it crashed. Again, I did install this on an SSD drive, so I'm going to be patient, but it kind of feels like maybe the game did crash, which is unfortunate. This is either the longest loading screen so far in the game, or it crashed. I'm starting to think I'm pretty sure it crashed, which is unfortunate because, like I said, I did want to get into this one experience where you're you're flying. I think you're parachuting down. So you're flying and then you're parachuting down. I know that's part of the museum experience, but I wasn't sure exactly where it was. I did play around with it before, back near November 1st, actually. And I know I experienced that, but it's already been more than a few days because I wanted to do this for November 11th, Veterans Day. But I'm pretty sure at this point the game crashed. So that's gonna end my Let's Play early impressions. Unfortunately, I have to give this game a neutral recommendation because I'm pretty sure it crashed. So obviously that shouldn't happen. There was an update to the game. I was hoping it would fix the issues, and for the most part, it fixed a lot of the optimization issues. But if the game crashed during a Let's Play, which is again not a very long video, I don't know that I can recommend the game. I have to give it a neutral recommendation. I would say at this point, wait for a patch that fixes the game's issue because I'm pretty sure it crashed at this point. I'm pretty positive. So anyways, that ends my video. Hope you found it useful. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Unfortunately, like I said, I have to give this a neutral recommendation. A question. I can't rate it because it crashed. I don't know how common this crash is, but it does give me pause enough in recommending this. But I was otherwise enjoying it, for what it was, which is an informative, educational experience dealing with World War II mostly. I believe it was all about World War II. I thought it'd be more about World War I and World War II, but I've only seen World War II stuff. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.